Here's my review of X-Men 97 Season 2, Episode 6. This was another really solid episode. Like I say, every single week, this show, in my opinion, like Season 1 was absolutely fantastic. And this show, I do not think reaches, like this season does not reach the heights of Season 1. Although it is still a solid season, and there's a lot of good stuff in this episode. It's cool seeing Polaris. Like, this is a character who I'm not super familiar with, but I do think that all the scenes with her are really good. I liked her as a character, and all of her scenes with her powers are really cool. And just seeing, like, her reconnect with the X-Men, such as, like, Beast and stuff, that was really cool. I liked that. And I also think that this episode has a lot of powerful scenes with Charles Xavier constantly reliving Magneto's death and the guilt that he feels for what happened to who was his best friend. It adds just an emotional weight that I do think that this episode needed. And the main villain for this particular episode of Dagger had such a great design of this like almost Terminator exoskeleton looking design. And it allowed for just like this villain to come across as just genuinely threatening, and I think that this episode needed it. And I think that Jean and Cyclops are great as always, and it is really cool some of the stuff that Jean can do with her powers. She's always cool. I can't wait to see her next week in Spider-Man. Or I guess this week. But I will say, I think one of the best scenes of this episode was probably the scene with Forge and Storm, of Forge absorbing all of this electricity from Storm. That was really cool. I thought that was definitely one of the highlights of the whole episode. I just think that like the design and like the main like just plot and danger is just not really that cool of a villain. Like there's a cool design, but I mean there's just not that much substance, it feels like, in this episode. Outside of, like I said, I think that the scenes with like Beast and Polaris, I think Polaris and her interactions with other members of the team, like that adds some much needed emotion. But I just don't think that the villain was that interesting for the overall plot of this episode. And of course, all the scenes I do think with Professor X, with Charles Xavier and Magneto are just like, I mean, obviously Magneto is dead now, but seeing him have these visions were just great. And one thing that just worries me is like this episode ends with like Apocalypse basically resurrecting Gambit as one of his horsemen. But I'm kind of nervous because there's not that many episodes left, and it's like it feels like we should have been doing like more of this maybe, or at least have more episodes, because I think there's only 9 episodes in this season, and like we're like more than halfway through, so that's kind of concerning. It's a little frustrating, I'm gonna be honest. So yeah, I thought that this was a solid episode. I don't think that like I say with every episode, unfortunately, this season, it just does not reach the same levels as Season 1 and that excellence. I think that there are some great moments in this show, and I thought like every single episode I still enjoy just because I love these characters so much. But it's just not as good as Season 1. It's just kind of frustrating. But that being said, I still thought that this episode was good. I quite liked Polaris. I liked all the scenes with Beast and Magneto, Charles. And there's a lot of good stuff in here. I am excited to see more of this character. I will say that. But overall, just like a lot of these episodes this season, it's solid. Not great, but solid.